Arguing is a part of everyday life. Whether it's with a friend, family member, or coworker, everyone has experienced some form of argument. While some argue more than others, there are ways to make any argument more successful. Practical wisdom is the ability to use knowledge in a way that is practical and effective. It is the ability to see the world as it is and to act in a way that is best suited to the situation. In other words, it is the ability to find the best possible solution to a problem. When it comes to arguing, practical wisdom can be extremely helpful. There are many psychological tricks that can be used to win any argument. By using these tricks, you can gain an advantage over your opponent and increase your chances of winning the argument. By following these 5 tips, you can increase your chances of winning any argument. Number 1. Projection. If you want to convince someone of something, start by convincing them that it's what they already believe. This technique is known as projection, and it's a powerful psychological tool that can be used to influence others. For example, let's say you want your coworker to agree to do a project with you. You could start by saying something like, "I know you're really good at organizing projects, and I think this would be a great opportunity for you to showcase your skills." By using projection, you're essentially planting the idea in their head that this is something they would want to do. And once the seed is planted, it will be much easier for you to convince them to actually do it. Projection is a handy tool to have in your arsenal, but be sure to use it sparingly. If you overuse it, people will catch on and it will lose its effectiveness. Number 2. Name calling. We have all been in an argument where we felt like we were losing, no matter how logical our points were. And then, in a final act of desperation, we resorted to name calling. Unfortunately, this is a common psychological tactic that can be very effective in winning an argument. When we call someone names, it puts them on the defensive and takes the focus off of the issue at hand. Name calling can also be used to make ourselves feel better. When we label someone as stupid or idiotic, it makes us feel superior to them. If you find yourself resorting to name calling in an argument, try to take a step back and focus on the issue at hand. This will help you stay calm and focused, and it will make it more likely that you will win the argument. Number 3. Moral superiority. The third psychological trick to win any argument is to claim moral superiority. This means that you argue that your position is morally correct and that the other person is wrong not only on the facts but also on an ethical level. For example, suppose someone is trying to convince you to buy a product that is environmentally friendly. In that case, they might say something like, "You should buy this because it's the right thing to do. It's morally superior to buying products that damage the environment." This technique can be very effective because it makes the other person feel like they are not just wrong, but also bad for holding a different opinion. As a result, they are more likely to change their mind in order to avoid feeling bad about themselves. However, you should be careful with this technique, as it can backfire if you come across as arrogant or judgmental. It's important to make sure that your tone is respectful and humble, even if you strongly believe that you are in the right. Number 4. Flattery. Flattery is one of the oldest and most effective psychological tricks there is. When you flatter someone, you make them feel good about themselves. This makes them more likely to see things your way and to agree with you. Of course, you need to be careful with this one. If you overdo it, the other person will see right through you and it will backfire. The key is to find genuine things to compliment them on. For example, if they've done a great job on a project, tell them so. Or if they're wearing a nice outfit, let them know that you noticed. A few well-placed compliments can go a long way in winning an argument. Number 5. Gaslighting. Gaslighting is a psychological tactic that is often used in arguments and debates. It involves making your opponent question their own sanity or perception of reality. One way to gaslight someone is to deny that something happened when it clearly did. For example, if your opponent says that you made a rude comment, you can gaslight them by denying that you said anything at all. This tactic can be effective because it makes your opponent doubt their own memory and perception. It can also be used to make them question their own intelligence or judgment. Gaslighting is a powerful psychological tactic, but it should only be used sparingly. If you use it too often, it will backfire and make you look like the one who is losing the argument.